Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all well. So I'm very excited about this video. This is a brand new release from Boss. I'm very excited to be one of the first channels to be showing you this. It's the all new SY-1 synthesizer from Boss. This is a compact Boss pedal, your classic Boss stomp box, but I'm telling you, this thing has a ton of different sounds in it. In fact, it's got 11 different types of synthesizer, and for each of those 11 types there are 11 variations of that type. That means there are 121 different types of sound of synth you can get from the SY-1. That is a serious amount of tonal options in such a small little pedal. So the cool thing with SY-1 is it houses Boss's SY-Tech, which is their own kind of synthesizer processors. They feature zero latency. Of course, it's polyphonic. You don't need any specific pickup for your guitar, like the old V guitar pickups and stuff. You can just use any guitar you want. This thing will track to your guitar perfectly, so they claim, and I'm sure we're going to find out, but I'm sure it will. On top of the fact that they're all sort of amazing sounds, from anything from analog through to your more digital kind of synthesizers, everything in between. It's got leads, pads, bass synths, bell synthesizers. There's all sorts of stuff. We'll get into the specifics of the exact types in a moment. The SY-1 has a bass and a guitar mode with a little switch on the back of the pedal to flick between if you're using a bass or a guitar. It's also got an expression pedal out, which is going to be really useful, and we're going to use that in this video. And you can also use the pedal as a hold feature, so you can create an infinite pad and play stuff over the top, which is very handy. The SY-1 has its own loop, so you can throw in other pedals into the mix and apply the effect, run them parallel so you can have your effect, whatever that might be, alongside the synth. So it's really handy that they did that, because you could have this pedal and then your entire other pedal board or specific pedals running in the loop of the SY-1, meaning you can just, it becomes expansive at that point, the amount that you can do. In this video, we're just going to focus on the SY-1, go through some of the sounds and play around a bit. I will be doing other videos on this because there's so much in this pedal. I also want to get Dave down to do some bass sounds with this as well. So I'm pretty excited to get stuck in. So looking at the close-up camera, it's kind of hard to see. I'll try and crop in so you can see a little bit clearer. But the controls along the top, starting from left to right, basically you've got your level control, which is a dual concentric pot. So the middle of the pot controls the effect, and the outer of the pot controls the direct signal of your guitar. Then the next knob along is your another dual concentric pot, so the middle knob controls the tone of the effect or the rate, depending on what you're using, and then the outer of the pot controls the depth of that effect. Then to the right of that, we've got the variation knob, which is a sort of notched rotary switch going from 1 to 11. Of course, that's how you control the different variations of the synth. And then to the right of that, you've got the type. So the types are lead, and there's a little black line connecting two different notches, which means there are two different settings for lead. So you've got essentially 21 different lead synth sounds. Then we move to the next type, which is pad. Then we've got bass. Then we've got string. Then organ, bell, and then sound effects. Again, one of those kind of dual notched settings, meaning you've got 21 different synth sound effects. And then one of the fun ones, sequencer. And again, you've got 21 different types of sequencer. So it's just ridiculous the amount of effects they've managed to cram into this pedal. And I would be lying if I said we're going to go through every single sound in this video, because we're not. That's 121 different sounds that I want to try and demonstrate in a usable fashion. It's going to be a long video in that case. So what I want to do in this video, and I'll do future videos on the SY-1 so I can keep demonstrating all kinds of different sounds. We're going to go through the types, and we're going to have a little play and check out some of the variations. And I'll try and get through this video as quick as I can, just because it will be long. So just letting you know that now. And then I'm going to get Dave down. We're going to do some stuff on a bass. And generally, I want to keep using this pedal over a couple of different videos just to demonstrate different sounds, because I would imagine that this pedal is, the amount of different tones you can get out of it and sounds is quite endless. We're also going to throw on the expression pedal. The guitar I'm going to use is my Mayonnaise Regis Core Classic, which is an awesome guitar that I've recently acquired and I love it. We're running into the Victory VX100. That's going out into the Boss Tube Amp Expander. all captured with the Universal Audio X8P Apollo interface. So let's check out some sounds. Okay, I've got my guitar. Now I've added reverb and delay to the tube amp expander because I think with synth you want a little bit of extra effect going on there. So let me give you the straight in sound of the guitar. So that's the sound of the guitar, a little bit of crunch, nothing serious. And then as you can see on the close-up cam, the pedal is switched on, and what I'm going to do is blend in the effect. And then I'm actually going to take away the dry signal so we can hear exclusively the SY-1's tones. And depending on the patch, we'll probably blend in some of that dry signal again, but let's just go ahead and check it out. So I was checking it out from a lead perspective, just trying to play like I normally would, see how well it tracks, and sure enough, it tracks very well. Oh, that's insane. It's very clean. You can hear everything. And the polyphonic element of it. Very impressive. Straight off the gate, out the gate. So we're on the lead. As I said, I've got the wet signal or the effect straight in, and again we've got tone / rate and depth I'm messing around with depending on the effect. So let's move around some of the lead variations. Just going to turn down some of that reverb. Might have got a bit giddy. Right, onward. Crazy. Some of these obviously you can blend in with the dry signal, but yeah, that's sick. Okay, I'm going to move to the second bunch of lead patches. Kind of sounds like old synth horns. Okay, let's move on to pad. I added the expression pedal because I figured it would be more helpful with pads, so let's try a couple of different ones. Very interesting. I mean, I guess you could use a lot of these kind of sounds with gain, and you've got the loop, of course, to add more pedals in there. I didn't want to colour the sound too much because I just wanted you to hear what the pedal sounds like into kind of a clean signal. But having the expression pedal for the pad stuff is really handy. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, we're on to bass synth sounds. The tracking is superb. I have to admit, it's very, very good. It's handling. I'm trying to do the lead thing in a bit of shred just to see how well it tracks, and it's really good. This is the bass synth sound. This is just very cool. Onward. So cool. Throw the expression in. So it acts like a sweep on that. Okay, we're on to string synth now. Got the expression pedal plugged in so we can try some swells. Heavenly. Okay, organs. So much fun. Fun for days. That I really like the organ ones because they're so gimmicky. You can do. There's so many sounds on them that's like, oh, it's just weird stuff, but sounds awesome. As I say, the sound quality and the tracking is unbelievable. So anyway, we'll move on. Now we're on to bell synths. Okay, now onto sound effects. This is where it's going to get interesting because these are going to be really weird kind of sounds. And again, you've got 21 variations, so let's see what we get. These are crazy. Crazy. Okay, we're on to the final type. This is sequencer. So there is an overview of the SY-1. I hope this video isn't too long because there's a lot to cover, and I did skim through it and just play some stuff over different sounds, and there were so many things to choose from that you really need hours and hours and hours and hours to sit down and dissect all the unique qualities of this pedal. But that being said, in terms of what you get inside the little Boss Compact, it's unreal. They've really outdone themselves. I don't think there's another Boss pedal that's in that size that has that much variation in tone. It's insane. The tracking is unbelievable. It's so accurate that you can play shred, you can play chords, like the polyphonic elements of it. Really, really impressive. I think this will be a super useful tool for a lot of people creating music. It's a music creation tool, and I've reviewed pedals like that before, but this one stands out as one that, it gives you way more than you think it's gonna. But like I said, I want to do other videos with it, do some of my favorite sounds after I've had it for a little while, because this is an exclusive. I haven't had the pedal more than a week, and I want to really get involved, find some cool sounds, do a tones video, get Dave down, do a bass video as well. So this was like an overview. As always, thank you to Boss for sending this pedal over. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll put links in the description box. I reckon you should check one out if you like the sound of it and you want something that's going to give you a lot of creative inspiration and textures and layers and things like that don't sound like a guitar, then you should check it out. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe and share. As always, I've been Rabea, and I'll see you very soon.